Hello and welcome to Heroes and Legends. I'm Susan Stockwell and I'm here today at the Exchange Club. We have a special presenter, Krystal Runyon, that is going to tell her story about the wonderful 3 children that she has. So with that, Krystal, I would like to thank you for coming today, and I know that you're going to tell your story. Just give me a little bit of info of exactly like your triumphs and the end result of what has happened through your journey in life at the age of 29?
28.
28. Give me a little insight.
Well, through 3 tragedies came out 3 miracles. We have 3 beautiful daughters that were replaced with our 3 beautiful babies that we have in heaven.
And it's Gracie and Summer and Carson. Carson's a very unique name. What are their ages?
Summer is 2.5, Gracelyn is 2, and Carson is 6 months.
Okay. Now, Summer was the first baby that you got, and how old was she when you received her, when you started fostering her?
6 weeks old.
Okay. And she came from a mom that actually had 4 different children, or 3?
Summer is the 4th daughter.
Okay.
The youngest of the 4.
Okay. So she doesn't have any of her children, correct?
Correct. They're all with their biological fathers. Summer does not have a father.
Okay. All right. That's even bonus. And then you got Gracie. How old was Gracie when you received her?
Gracie was 4 weeks old.
And Gracie was born to a mom that...
She was actually called a safe haven baby, which is a baby that is left in the hospital after a mother gives birth. So her mother gave birth to her and left her at the hospital, and we got a phone call, asked if we would adopt her, and of course we said yes.
Okay. And then you were told you couldn't have any more children, correct?
We were told we weren't able to have children at all. My husband and I's blood were not compatible to have children, and our surprise miracle was born this year in May.
And so were you trying to get pregnant? You weren't, because you were told you couldn't have children, correct?
No, absolutely not. She was a very big surprise. I just wasn't feeling good one day and happened to take a pregnancy test, and it was positive.
Oh my goodness. Krystal resides in Indiana, and she is my niece, and her mom and dad, my sister, have a fire restoration company called Rich Construction in the Indiana area. They're a Christian family that came out to Joliet today to tell their story and their journeys. And I would also like to add for the Will County community that a couple years ago, there was a tragedy that had happened in Indiana. And I don't know if this is going to refresh anybody's memory, but it was called the Bumblebee Killings. It was all over the news. There was this wild man that was going around killing people. And unfortunately, it just so happens that Rich Construction workers were doing a job, and this man happened to come across the farm that they were working on. And what was the end result of that, Krystal?
Unfortunately, we had one worker that passed away, one worker that is disabled, and the other worker that was working got away.
And so the other worker ran into a cornfield and lived. But the reason why I'm bringing this story up is for the simple fact that my brother-in-law then did a fundraiser for the family, and didn't he send him down to Mexico, his remains?
Yes, we were able, with the fundraising money that we got, we were able to support the family for quite some time and able to bury the deceased and send him back down to his family.
So they're very out in the community in the Indiana area. They also joined the Joliet Chamber, so they're making their way out this way and joining different things too. So they always give to the needy, and they're always there to help within their organizations and their churches. And Krystal, weren't you doing some missionary work or something with the children at church?
Yes, we are doing a couple things. We give foster children care packages that go to their new families, which includes personal things for them and Bibles and things of that nature. And then also another organization that we just got involved with is called Mommy's Haven, and we help women that choose to keep their children instead of aborting them. We take care of them before, during, and after their pregnancy by housing them, getting their prenatal vitamins, and taking care of them.
That's a great journey, and I wish you much success, Krystal, and I know that those girls are never going to want for anything, especially when Aunt Sue's around, but I would like to thank you for coming out today, and just thanks for everything that you've done. And so now you got to go in and give your big speech to the Exchange Club.
Yes, thank you very much. I'm honored to be here today.
First, let me welcome everybody on this very auspicious occasion. We have a marvelous couple of programs. The first one would be our Student of the Month presentations. Not yet, Linda. And then we have a special guest speaker that has an extremely interesting story that I think we're all going to really enjoy the daylights out of it. But thank you all for coming. My name is George Bodie. I'm the president of the Joliet Exchange Club, at least for this year. And I'd like to welcome you all to our meeting today. As always, we start with a Pledge of Allegiance and a prayer. So if we'd all stand, please. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, thank you. Dear Lord, thank you for this gathering, and thank you for the ability that we have to help the children in need of child abuse. Please take this food to our nourishment, and we can share our camaraderie with our fellow exchangites and our friends today. We ask in His name, Jesus Christ. Amen. As you can tell, I am not a minister. We're going to start our program with our students of the month. We have 3 of them, and I'd like to introduce Linda Erickson, who is the chairman of that committee. You have to stay behind the podium.
Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. I'd like to introduce the 3 students of the month for December Joliet Exchange Club. Our first student is Karina Garcia. Karina, can you come up and tell us a little bit about yourself, please?
Well, I didn't know how to speak, so I just offhand this. I apologize, I wasn't told. Well, I'm a student from Joliet Central. I'm part of math team, science team, I'm in human relations, I'm part of other clubs. I actually enjoy being there, and I know it's almost my time to move on. So I'm kind of honored that you guys are honoring me for everything I've done in school. And yeah, that's all I really want to say.
All right, thank you. All right, our next student is Elizabeth Minarich. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Minarich? All right, thank you. There you go, ma'am. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lizzie Meinerich, and I go to JCA. At school, I'm involved in various activities. I'm the president of the Drama Club, secretary of National Honor Society, and treasurer of Student Council. I'm also in the National Spanish Honor Society and the Honor Society and Mu Alpha Theta. I'm really grateful you guys are recognizing me today, so thank you all. Have a good lunch.
And last but not least, Matthew Zarib. I probably screwed that up too.
Here. Everybody gets it wrong.
Okay.
I'm Matthew Vervey. I'm a senior at Joliet West. I'm involved in 15 different activities this year at West. I'm not even going to bother trying to explain my involvement in all of them. But thank you for recognizing me.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Our congratulations to all of our students. Well done. One moment. We have just a couple of quick announcements. Some club business. Next week will be our last meeting of this year, since the 2 after that, one falls on Christmas Eve, the other one falls on New Year's Eve. You're welcome to come out and be here if you'd like, but we're not going to be meeting. The first meeting then will be in the new year. It will be on January 7th. Okay, it's Tuesday, first Tuesday of the month. It'll be an evening meeting. It'll be at 6 in the evening. Okay. The Christmas party was last weekend. Marvelous attendance. We had a lot of fun. And everybody that came, thank you for showing up. We enjoyed the camaraderie and the fellowship. Next week we have 2 events going on. We have our usual speaker, plus we're swearing in 3 new members. So if you're one of the 3, make sure that you attend and bring your sponsor, or vice versa, either way. Okay? Does anybody have anything to add from the club? Yes. Mr. McFarlane, you'll have to come up here and use the microphone. But he's not. It's here.
I'd just like to announce that on Tuesday, February 11th, please save the date, we are going to have our Policeman of the Year ceremony down at the Joliet Country Club at 11:30 a.m. Again, February 11th at 11 a.m. I'm sorry, let me correct it, 11:30 a.m. And we will also have the poster contest for the crime prevention. So please save the date. We like to pack the house and honor a Joliet police man or woman. And I think I said fire, didn't I? No, I said police. All right, good. So the committee is meeting with Mark Reed. And our keynote speaker for this event is the Illinois Supreme Court Justice Kilbride, Thomas Kilbride. So again, we want to have a nice showing and honor the man or woman that will be honored on February 11th, along with our students that will be there being recognized for their poster contest. Thank you.
All right. We're not going to go through all of the guests, but do one of our members have a guest that they have brought to the meeting today that they would like to introduce to the assemblage?
Well, I could, yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm Kathleen Fulton, for those of you who haven't met me. This is my mom, Loretta Ferenzi, and my stepdad, George Ferenzi.
Welcome. Okay. Have you finished your lunch? Could I have Stockwell? I'm going to introduce Miss Susie Stockwell, who knows and will do the introduction for the speaker for this afternoon. Ms. Stockwell?
Hi, thank you so much for being here today. We have a wonderful story for you. This is precious to my heart, and I promise I wouldn't cry, but my niece has gone through a lot, and this is my family, my sister Kathy, and Kathy, if you would just stand, and my brother-in-law John. Kathy and John have been together since my sister was 14 years old. So that tells you what a great family I have. And then I have my niece Krystal, and she is here to tell a story today of her life and her Christianity. I can't even say the word because she's a Christian, what came to her life. And I do have to say that she definitely was blessed. So with that, Krystal, I would love you to come out and tell your story.
Hit enter to keep the page it forward. Okay.
Thank you very much for allowing me to be here today. I'm sorry for the spelling with 3 children under the age of 2. Grammar is not my thing at 12 o'clock at night trying to get this together. So my story is how we became a family of from 2 to 5 in a year and a half. Maybe.
It doesn't want to advance. There it is.
Too far. Oh. That's it.
That's the one.
Yes.
Okay.
So my story starts in September 15th, 2007. I had my fairy tale wedding and married my husband which was my best friend. We decided not to have children right away. We wanted to just have a couple dogs, get our degrees in college, and he actually got accepted into a great job at the BP oil refinery, so we just decided to take some time for ourselves before we wanted to have children. So these are our four-legged children that we had at the time, Jackson and Thor. Like I said, we weren't wanting to have children right away. It was just something that we wanted to take time for ourselves, but we had a nice surprise and became pregnant with our first child in August of 2008. This was our first pregnancy, so we told everybody in the family, played the jokes on how we were pregnant. It was a really fun and exciting time for us. But unfortunately, during this pregnancy, God had called our first child home, and we weren't able to birth this child into the world, but we know that is an angel in heaven, and we have comfort in knowing that if our children can't be with us here on earth, that they are in the arms of Jesus Christ, and we know that is no better place for them if they can't be in our arms. So we knew through the power of prayer that this is how we were going to get through this, and life goes on. We had to pick up our pieces and decide what was going to be the next step in life for us. So we went through life, another birthday, another challenges that we went through. But we, again, a year later, found out we were pregnant with our second pregnancy. This pregnancy was nothing exciting for us. It was complications from the very beginning. Nothing went right, and unfortunately ended with another emergency surgery that I had. The surgery was a very complicated surgery, very hard on us in the family. We had a really hard time with this one. We weren't quite sure why this happened in our life. We wanted answers, which we weren't getting. So my husband and I were very bitter about the situation. So we decided that it was time to go find answers, what was going on. So we went to the city of Chicago, the good old Windy City. We went for fertility treatments, we had blood work done, we had tests done to find out that basically we were not compatible to have children. Our blood work was not compatible, and we just were told to accept the fact that we could not have children, so which was fine with us. So we decided to do things for us instead of seeking to further our family. We decided to build a home, which we were told usually when you have children that life is over. It's not about you guys anymore. So we decided to, I guess, take the selfish route and do things for ourselves. So we decided to build our home in 2012. Whoops. And so we reside in Lowell, Indiana. We decided to, after we built our house, there's times that we need, things that we needed to do now to further our family. We decided to look into adoption, and going through the adoption agency was very expensive, was not something that we wanted to second mortgage our brand new house to get a child. So through church, we know people that are foster parents, so we decided to become licensed foster parents. In the process of that, we got pregnant again. But the pregnancy this time was not a successful pregnancy again, and lost our third child that became an angel in heaven. So we knew that this is definitely the avenue that we needed to go through, was adoption. And through our classes that we decided to take, that's my very proud husband. In the Lake County, Indiana, you have to take 60 hours of classes, go through home studies, get background checks and fingerprints before you become an official licensed foster parent. And we were very specific on what kind of child we wanted. So while we were taking our classes, we were told it would be a very long time before we had children, which we were fine with that. We received our certificates, and we're just going to hold on to them for a little while. We weren't ready to have children yet. We didn't have a nursery set up, and we just had these so when we were ready. Well, lo and behold, 3 weeks later, our beautiful first daughter, Summer, came into our life. I'm sorry, I looked at her and she got me. Summer was taken away from her family due to drugs. So we were very honored and very blessed that God brought her into our home. So we loved her back to health. We had to do therapies with her due to physical disabilities that she had at the time, but she pulled through it. Thank you. She pulled through everything and became a healthy, beautiful girl. Well, lo and behold, when Summer was 4 months old, we got the phone call for another baby girl. Gracelyn was a safe haven baby. Her mother gave birth to her at the hospital and left her there. We got the phone call and asked if we wanted to adopt another child, and we accepted very gratefully. So this is the picture that's up on the screen. Was a little bit different on how we went through the process of Summer. Summer was brought to our home. To our Summer, Gracelyn, we had to go and visit her for a few days to get acquainted with her to make sure that she would be acceptable in our family. We kind of joke about it because the process, they acted like she was a puppy. You know, go meet her for a little while, see if she'll do right, and then see if you would like to bring her home. So we went and visited her, and yes, we were more than happy to bring her home. So our beautiful girls grew up in our home, and the void that we had in our lives were filled. We were so gracious and grateful to God for blessing these babies with us, blessing these girls in our home. So they became officially adopted when Gracelyn was 1 year old and Summer was 2 years old. The process is very long and complicated, but it was worth every minute and heartache that we earned. Well, on our second daughter's first birthday, we found out that we were pregnant, and it was a successful pregnancy. This is the only pregnancy that we had an ultrasound and saw a baby and saw life beating inside of me, which was something that we never got to see with the other three. So we were very excited to have this child that we knew for sure was going to be here. And the gift of pregnancy was something that I'm very grateful for, but I didn't like anything about it. I feel that God was telling me that you adopted these other two because she was going to be the only one if we were to ever give birth first. So we were very grateful. Our story ends with three beautiful baby girls that would have never been given to us in our life if it wasn't for the Lord Jesus Christ. In the beginning, before we had our miscarriages, I was a fan of God. I was not a follower of God. And I know that He placed these heartaches and hard times in our life for me to become, and my husband become, a follower of Jesus Christ. And I'm very grateful for the hard times we went through, because if we didn't follow His plan, we wouldn't have these three beautiful girls in our life. So I just would like to introduce Summer, which is in the pink. This is our first daughter. Summer, say hi. Gracelyn is our second daughter. Say hi, Gracelyn. And Carson is our third daughter. If God willing, there will be more, but as of right now, I think 3 under 2 is plenty. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak today.
Does anybody have any questions for Krystal?
I think you should share with them about the months they were born.
Oh,
There you go.
I like to share. Everybody says it's a coincidence how these children were brought in our life, but it was definitely a plan of God. The months that our children were taken to heaven was in June, May, and October. My first daughter's birthday is in June, my second daughter's birthday is in October, and my third daughter's birthday is in May. So I don't think that's a coincidence that God replaced these children in heaven with these babies here on earth.
What kind of vehicle do you drive and how do you
Well, I started off with a Ford Edge, which was fine with one. So then we came to two, and I got an Acadia. Then the Acadia wasn't working because I had so many car seats. I am now down to a soccer mom van. Which I wasn't happy about, but too many car seats, so it works.
Anybody else? Well,
Thank you.
On behalf of the Exchange Club, we're going to have to unplug your mic here for a second. I'll give this to you when we take the microphone off. On behalf of the Exchange Club, it's a little something to remember us by with the candy.
Thank you very
all right?
much.
Thank you so very much. Okay, now we don't know what to do because we have never in the history of the Exchange Club gotten done in the first half hour of our meeting. So I think what we'll do is we will just visit, network, and eat lunch. Okay? I appreciate everybody's attention, and that was just a marvelous story.
Well, I am here with the infamous Jan Quillman. Jan, I have to thank you so much for coming out today and for supporting my niece Krystal. My niece came to the Exchange Club today to tell her story about the children that she lost, the pregnancies that unfortunately ended up in tragedy, and the positive of two daughters that she just adopted, and now she just had a miracle baby because she wasn't supposed to have any more children. Was it not sad?
There wasn't a dry eye in the house, I'll tell you, to hear her speak about her 3 losses of her children, but her Christian faith really carried her through. And she believes, as I do as well, that when God takes one away, He has them up there and they become angels. And that's what's comforted her and her husband. But then He provided her with 3 other angels, which is just a remarkable story.
One of the things that I didn't know, Jan, was the point that the 3 months that the children had died, she got those children's birthdays were in the same 3 months. I still get chilled.
Which it was May and October and June. And those, like you said, that's when she lost those children, but that's when these children came to her. So absolutely a blessing. You never question what God has in store for you.
No, never do. Well, Jan, thank you very much. Lunch is getting ready to be served, and thank you for supporting me.
Well, thank you, and you're quite welcome, and Merry Christmas to everyone.
Merry Christmas.